Alright everybody, this is Axel. We're trying to start doing scrims Sunday nights, also possibly Wednesday nights for Overwatch. We got two different teams playing, and tonight I recorded a game on Temple of Anubis between Defiance's team and Shaw's team, and so I'm going to go through and try and analyze what happened, why it happened, what could have been done better, that sort of thing. So let's get into it. And I did start a little bit late, so apologies for that. If you want to see, right now Defiance's team is in the red, Shaw's team is in the blue, and the attacking side, the red team, has gone up the stairway and has flanked around, taken the high ground above the point. Shaw's team, blue team, I'll just call them blue and red. Blue team was holding in the typical position along the bridge over here in the corner, and they're kind of moving back over towards the low ground while the red team is trying to drop down from the high ground to engage the fight. Let's hit play. So the red Roadhog gets knocked off and the red Zenyatta dies. So already the team's a little bit split up. If blue team crushes onto that Roadhog, then all of a sudden red team is caught out with 4 people and it would have been an easy wipe. However, they don't quite focus too much on the Roadhog. Only the Zarya really goes for him. Everyone else is out of position for that. The Reaper drops down and helps to finish off the Zarya. And then finally the red team all jumps down. They took a second to get coordinated. If they pushed together it would have been best, but because the Roadhog got knocked off, they got forced. Now you see the blue team is having to actually jump onto the point to defend. This is a good position for the red team because they've got control of the point, and the only people who are really there to contest are Pharah and Zenyatta, and if they drop down to actually contest the point, they're dead.
Pharah top left, Zen top left.
Pharah tries to ult, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough. They had a Zarya bubble and a Reinhardt shield. Reinforcements come in from the attacking team because they're going to spawn closer. For some reason, Shaw decided to try and attack the point, and then is like, no wait, this is a bad idea. So we're pushing in, little issues with spectator mode because it's a little bit strange sometimes. They dropped the sound barrier in, and already blue team is just abandoning the point. For some reason Skitty ulted in the middle of the point. He said he hit the wrong button or something. And that's the point where this push starts to fall apart. Defiance also was a little bit staggered. He didn't get here in time, and so he tries to block the Earth Shatter from Shaw, but not quite in time, and 3 of his team go down. Espen's forced to use the Zenyatta ult, and no other ults have been forced out of the blue team. Red team uses all of their ults that they can, but then the counter ults come in, and with the spawn advantage that the defending team has, it's not going to happen. Honestly, I think the Resurrect could have been held. Defiance probably shouldn't have ulted. He saw a lot of people, but he didn't realize that his team had died, which is unfortunate.
I'm putting shield up.
My ultimate is charging.
We got the first,
Yeah, we got the first take.
checkpoint, so.
Skitty is really far up considering how aggressively they're defending. And he gets in trouble, has to Wraith form out of there. Probably could have just stayed back with his team. Didn't really get anything out of that. Risked himself a little bit.
Come left side so the Pharah can do shit to us. If we go left side, we're gonna be
Let's
inside
go
the cave.
Crips. Let's go Crips.
Saving app.
They decided to go left side to avoid the Pharah, which is probably not a bad idea. So they all get into the caves, and then Shaw actually flanks behind them, which could be good, especially if he had an Earth Shatter. That would be an amazing flank. He could flatten all of them, but he doesn't have an Earth Shatter, and his team doesn't actually have the Reinhardt shield. So it would have been a good idea for Red Team to just push in aggressive with the speed boost, but they didn't react in time. Shaw is able to charge through them, get some damage, almost build his ult, and then also get in position. It was a risky play by Shaw, probably not a good play, but it worked out for him because the red team didn't take advantage of it. 2 picks goes for the red team. Shaw gets taken out immediately. They kill the Mercy, which is very important. Didn't quite have the ult, she had 99% of her ult, and that is the point. It was a very solid second push for the red team.
Obviously, they may push right. If they go left, we just
So blue team is going for the 3 tanks, 3 supports strategy. which eventually does work out for them, as you'll see here.
That's true.
Red team, on the other hand, is running a Junkrat for their DPS, and then they're running 3 tanks, which is also probably a decent idea. The sustainability between the Zen and the Mercy is going to help them, but it's not going to help them against the strategy that the blue team employs right here.
Finish off
This is a strange misplay by the Zarya. She must have missed the call or something. She gets hooked, she dies, and that staggers she's staggered to the point where they can't push in without her. So it delays the push by another, 15-20 seconds.
I don't know if they were just
They're left side. They're left side.
Junkrat calls them all grouping up left side, but isn't able to get the poke damage onto them.
How the fuck I got 11%?
Probably should have saved the Riptire as well, just because they're waiting, they're ready for it. If he had used it as they were pushing, it would have been devastating. Here comes the push.
Are they waiting for heavy push? Yeah, here they come. Here they come.
Winston jumps behind, immediately gets onto the point. Reinhardt charged, and now you can see red team is completely split up. Blue team is concentrated on the point. They got 2 picks immediately, and this is just disastrous for the red team. They're completely forced off of the point.
Who's next? Get Shaw, get Shaw, get Shaw. You get on point? Who's on point?
Snoo runs in, tries to get a res off. Only gets Jigster, which honestly he probably should have just died and saved the res for that second point.
No, I think I need to hold.
No, set up for B. Set up for B.
Set up for next. Yep.
I don't know about that single
I
res.
don't think we have enough damage.
I'm gonna ult and I'm gonna switch.
I don't have res.
Well, they're doing the 3 tanks, 3 healers.
Yeah, they are.
I need to go Reaper. I'm gonna go Reaper.
Yeah, go Reaper, go
we need
Reaper for sure.
Fire strike on.
We just need to outlast them.
My ultimate is charging.
Definitely the Reaper for sure.
But I have no build up to ult, but it's okay.
gonna switch as well.
Skitty's changing Reaper, so.
I'm Reaper.
They choose to push right up the middle using an Autumn boost on the Reinhardt and also Winston Primal Rage.
I'm gonna try to get him out
Defiance
there.
quickly charges Shaw out into a corner and is able to Earth Shatter. Unfortunately, Graviton Surge comes.
Oh, jeez, no, Shaw from behind.
I don't like that Zenyatta ult right there because there was no real need for it. It was just a Mei coming out to contest. Maybe he felt like he already had the point, but with the respawn advantage, they're going to have to win this fight a second time. Snoo does not have her res at this point, and so it's just an all-out fight. Whoever wins this particular fight is going to take the point. Jigster uses her his Graviton, gets 3 kills with K-Force, and with the spawns that they have, they just were able to stall long enough with that Mei.
Focus on. You gotta get. You gotta pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Kill him. Lucio's
Nice,
down.
nice,
Go after
nice.
win. Go after
I
win.
have ult. I have ult.
Get up there.
K-Force goes up so that he can use his Death Blossom, dropping in on him as they push in. And he's asking for information. Are they pushing through the middle or are they pushing through the right so that he knows who to drop down on?
I'm gonna wall them off here.
And you can see they're all grouping up. Anna's just trying to get her ult up just a little bit more so that she can ult Shaw.
Or just make sure you get it off right and you don't block me.
And here they come, and they come from both sides. Nobody gives K-Force any information, so he's just kind of looking at them as they push in. Finally does end up ulting, but he gets picked off immediately. And Scorp actually didn't use the Ana ult until the fight is already in process, which is a very strong strategy. Mei ult goes off, but unfortunately there's no one there to follow up on the damage.
And right in front of you. Okay,
I'm asleep.
On point.
Snoo had switched off Mercy to the Lucio, and so isn't able to get any reses, and that is round 2.
So the only counter to the 3 tanks.
Okay, I'll go something else. What do you want me to do?
Now this is an interesting, this is a misplay by the red team because
But a Reaper.
the attack is about to begin, and they're not set up because they were still arguing over their team composition, how to combat this 3 tank, 3 healer strategy. So they're actually only 4 up at the time that these guys push in. Now immediately they back up and drop onto the point.
Go after the Winston.
And this positioning right here, this is so important. They didn't let the blue team get behind them. They pushed onto the point, they got control of the point first and kept blue team in front of them. So they're still defending. They're not split up, they're not pincered. As soon as the push came in, they said, we're not going to be able to hold this. They're pushing in hard. They backed up, got on the point, and now they're in a good defensive position. If they had had all of their team, it probably would have gone even better.
Discorded, burn the Winston, burn the Winston.
As it is, they get 2 kills immediately.
Shield up, shield up.
Zarya's discorded.
And Shaw's the only one alive in Scorp, and
She's almost dead in the back. Zarya's down, coming on point, going after Shaw. Shaw's down.
DNG, the
Shield
2
back up,
healers,
complete.
forced to retreat.
Ana's underneath the choke. Sorry.
He's no, you're alone, bro. Watch out.
Yeah, I'm backing out.
Moving back up top. Get a height advantage.
Yeah, getting that Winston.
Alright, second push comes in, and they don't back up in time. They don't back up in time, and they don't back up as a group. Blue team is swarming all over Defiance. Even though he's getting Ana healed, there's only so much he can do.
I'm asleep.
They got me. Yep.
He's coming after me.
Thank
Go,
you.
go, Defiance.
Going. Trying to get their healers.
She's discorded.
DNG on point, the 2 healers on point.
I'm coming in with
Narya's still alive. Trans still
kill
alive.
them off, guys.
Going after the Zarya, trying to get him off Espen. Get off my Espen. Get the Zarya.
And this is the point where respawn advantage starts to favor the attacking team.
Shields up.
Any kills that trade favor the attacking team.
Ryan's discorded. He's not discorded anymore. Get a discord on him. Going after the Ryan.
He's discorded.
He's Ana boosted. Trying to get the Ana. You guys focus on them in the pool.
Yo, he fucked up his ult.
Red team does a very good job of contesting this point for a very long time. They stalled out a good 2 minutes, but ultimately it's difficult when you have such a long, prolonged fight. And this is the point where Skitty switches over to Bastion, which I think is the smartest thing he could have possibly done. They're running the 3 tanks, 3 supports strategy. They don't have anything, however, that can deal with the Bastion.
I got you.
And he's set up in a good spot. They're not ready for it.
Because they have 3 healers and they're just
going out
heal up
left
any
side.
damage you do. It's just gonna try to
Defiance is on board. He's ready to shield and protect Skitty. And Skitty's not playing aggressively. He knows eventually he's going to get a good line of sight.
I'm not watching the flying.
He sets up here. He's like, nope, Shaw's out, so he moves again.
Going towards mid. Blocking mid. Here comes Zarya. Take advantage. She's overextended.
She's discorded.
And this is the other thing. I don't know if Shaw's team was aware that there was a Bastion, but they did not push in very strongly. If they had pushed in strongly, it probably would have gone poorly, as we see Zarya gets immediately shredded.
Their Zarya's down. Shield still up. Watch left side. Shaw.
But they're split up. They're not organized.
Hot still left, top left.
I'm assuming at this point, of course, they know that there is a Bastion, and they're not sure how they're going to deal with it. What they need to do is they need to have some sort of DPS that can take out the Bastion, because Bastion is just going to shred the tanks.
Shield dropping.
It's a very, very solid counter to the 3 DPS, or the 3 tank, 3 support strategy.
Dropping
Yo,
shield.
keep the shit.
Oh, got you. Got you.
No, Skitty's just firing through the choke. They go left side, which is good because Skitty wasn't joining there, but Skitty immediately hears the call, switches up his positioning, and now he's in perfect position to just watch his ult percentage. He just got 50% of his ult immediately, and is still laying down fire. Now he ults, which probably wasn't the best idea considering there's a Zen ult going on right now, but they are still able to pick up all of the kills. There's just nothing there that can deal with the raw DPS, and then red team just cleans up.
Zarya on point. Zarya by the bridge. Zarya's down. Shield up. 25 seconds. This is our last push. What else do we have?
20 seconds left. They're going to have to do a really, really rushed push, which is never something you want to have to do against a Bastion.
Where are you, Skitty? Just so I can keep you. Okay.
I'm on the left side.
Yeah, I just want to know where you are so I can fall back. They gotta
Good
counter.
communication from Defiance, making sure he knows where the Bastion is so that he can shield it just in case. They do bring out a Diva. It's a little bit too little too late. She's not able to block the Bastion because the Bastion had switched positions. That's the other thing. He had switched positions, so they didn't know where he was. So it's effectively a team kill. I'm not sure what Shaw was doing over there in the corner. I actually didn't catch what happened.
I can kill the Ana. That's key.
You just choose the.
Because
So now the red team is also opting to go for the 3 tanks, 3 support strategy,
They have a Pharah.
Let's pretty rush right side again. Top right.
but blue team is actually running the 2-2 and 2, which I don't think red team was expecting at all. They attempt very similar push, except they're going the top right. They speed boost in. Defiance shields everybody and does a very good job.
Shields up. Keep backing up, guys. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. I'm blocking. You gotta go.
Unfortunately, Lucio gets caught out. He does not hear the call to go up top. He actually goes in that middle room. You can see me just kind of like, no, that was bad. Alright, so Roadhog flanks around right here and actually gets a really nice surprise hook on Shaw. All of a sudden he realizes, oh shoot, they have complete control of that high ground. Reaper comes behind, gets called out. Roadhog goes to deal with him while Defiance and Jigster and K-Force on the Zenyatta drop down and start contesting the point. They take down Shaw, they take down Mercy, despite the fact that she had a Zenyatta ult on her. Make something that I say be right. There we go. There's the Mercy.
Zen's in the back corner here, going after Zen. Get that Mercy.
Roadhog tries to contest, not going to happen. Zen's also dead. Defiance is frantically calling out for someone to kill the Mercy, despite the fact that that happened 10 seconds ago. The Pharah and the Reaper tried to gank Defiance as he was out, but really they're just overextending for no reason.
Let's go. You almost had him. Going. I have my ult available for Ryan.
Yo, they're asleep. Zenyatta asleep.
Oh, how did he get past that?
That's a very, very critical Earthshatter. That will be play of the game. Earthshatter into Death Blossom, complete team wipe. That is unfortunate.
Something? Can I just suggest
Yeah, go
something? We're calling way too many things that are not really like that relevant. Let's just make the important calls, because we're calling out everything. There's too much noise, and I just think we have too much noise.
Okay.
I agree.
Let's go left side.
Alright, we're going.
We have the beat. We're gonna drop the beat. We're gonna speed up and we're gonna attack.
So we see Cheerios ready for. He doesn't have the Death Blossom again, but that's what he did last time.
Reinhardt, please.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's all try.
They all push left side. Wait for the Reinhardt to push first.
Go. Drop the beat.
Shaw got me.
Get an Ana boost. Pharah ults in the corner, but it's not enough because they broke it down. Mercy's down. Reinhardt's down. This is the recipe for a really good push. They just kind of clean up. Reaper has to leave. Mercy's looking for a res, but there's not really anyone dead on the point. They're all respawned. Clutch heals from the Zenyatta and the Ana. We get a res, but it's not very much of a res. And then Roadhog gets 2 kills. We get a Graviton, we get an Earthshatter, and that is the game, everybody.
Watch the Reaper.
Get the Reaper. Reaper's over here, going after him. He's discorded. He's down.
It's over, guys. It's over. Nice.
GG. Solid games, both sides. That was good rounds though. And yes, agreed on the chatter there. Definitely need to focus on what we need to focus on. So that was solid.
Yeah.
Yo, I really like the aggression on the team though. Good job, guys.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Yeah, that was solid. Just
I did not know to teleport it up there. I knew I missed the hook. Well, I didn't miss the hook, it was just too far.
See, this is where I was trying to communicate to you guys that the most important thing was the Reaper was behind us, but you guys are all talking about everything that I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, I heard you, but I was the Ryan forward, so there was nothing I could do. I felt bad.
Because I knew he was gonna ult us and then do that, because that's what I was trying to do, but they sped past us way too fast. I couldn't. Well, we had a hammer advantage, so he just killed us while we're on the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. But that's all right though.